So, if any of y'all are wondering why I haven't wrenched on the car in a couple of days, I said I'd get to Monday. I actually got really busy uh, and had some stuff come up. And then Wednesday, I had a lot of appointments. I had to go back to physical therapy and a bunch of different things. So, yesterday was insane. Uh, but today, I was going to start on grinding this out, cutting the frame, like I said, and seeing if I can get through to that bolt, and then making the decision on where to go with this. Well, I'm not pulling out the 93 Prelude because I'm already pissed. I just washed it, cleaned it, sitting there nice and tight, and I'm pissed enough that my 94 is sitting out there. Because like I said, both these, well, that one has one little spot of rust on the side, but nothing even underneath on the body, any issues, and this has no rust. And my 99 and 2000 actually have no rust either, so I wish I had a bigger garage. But if you guys can see, all of this, it is like weird yellowish orange. The camera I don't think even picks it up as well, but we have a winter storm going on, and this is all sleet and ice. Like, look at the side of our building here. You guys see that? Look at that. Well, there's a spider web in there too, but that is all ice. Now let me come out here to the cars, because I don't want to walk out in this shit much longer, because I'm going to have to come out here and spray some like ice thawing shit on it. That's all. It's like an inch of ice on the hood of the Prelude. Look at the CRV. Mine. Now this is white, so it's a little bit harder to see, but you can see the dirt trapped in there from how dirty it got. Look at the windshield. So until this shit stops, it's supposed to stop later on today. Look at this. This is insane. This has been our first week of having snow and ice, and we're already getting this stuff. So, and usually I like winter, but I'm not going to be happy with a whole lot of ice. Look at the back of my spoiler, my rear wiper blade. Look at that. Look at the spare. So, yeah, the Prelude's not coming out here, and I'm not going to be grinding metal by the Prelude and shooting up metal all over it. So, look at that. So we're going to have to wait till this kind of stops. It's not going to thaw too well, because it's going to be pretty cold. Look at my mirror. This shit is ridiculous. So, yeah. So, it might have to be put off to tomorrow. Another thing is I got my stock wheels at the shop right now, getting my snow tires put on. So that's going to be put in winter mode later on today. If it stops, I can pull that out. But yeah, guys, that shit's ridiculous. What's up, guys? So, if you watch the beginning of the video, because I'm going to put it in the beginning here, you'll see why I'm all bundled up and freezing here in the garage. And my glasses, sorry, freaking trying to see the screen. If it looks like there's a glare on it, it's because you'll know why they're all that winter bullshit. So I had a question asked to me by a few people, over time, but it was funny because it kind of popped up recently. And the question was, well, first let me say this. I'm not going to be working on this today right now, because the simple fact that we have like an ice storm going on right now. There's snowing the most of the rest of the day. Some of the places are going to get a foot or more, which I wish we were getting. I like the snow a lot more than dealing with the ice. Could get some cool videos for you guys for that. But now we're getting all the ice, so it sucks. I got to go to the shop and grab my snow tires and my stock wheels from the guy that just put them on. Just got a call. But I'm not putting the 93 Prelude. I'm already pissed I got that Prelude out. And you guys will probably see all this. It'll be in the beginning of the video. I'll put it in the beginning. But yeah, basically I'm not going to get a chance to work on it if it doesn't settle down today. So that sucks. That's going to count one day because I start the new job next week. And I've been kind of preparing for it, get my sleep schedule ready for it, and just also doing all the little extra things they need and stuff. So, yeah, I gotta ask the question. Let's go to this, and I just want to do this as a fun video. There's nothing really gonna be mechanical in here that I'm doing, but I thought this was kind of cool. Maybe I will open up like a questions video or do something live chat or something. I don't know. I think that might be fun. But I got asked, why do I not like, and I've had some other people say, why do I hate Civics and Integras? Or do I hate them? And the question is a hard no, but a yes also. It's kind of weird, right? So I absolutely love. I mean, you look at my page and you go down my stuff. If you follow my stuff, and you might be like, CRV Tom, what the fuck? You've had like 10 or 20 Civics. I can't even keep count anymore. But I've had a ton. And do I like them? Yes. Yes, I do. Do I think that, hell, I think the EG is one of the greatest platforms to build for a Honda for front wheel drive for race. EK is a great one too. I just don't like the EK as much, but I do like it. And then pretty much after that, Civic died off for me. But no, I'm joking. There's some nice ones like check out EM2 Preston. I think it's EM2 Preston on Instagram. He's got an awesome build. He's locally here. There's actually a few guys, that most of them are all Civic guys here locally. They have some other Hondas too. And they're all great guys. But here's the thing for me. With most the Integra, especially the DC and the EK and the EG guys. EF guys are not so bad. To a point, some of them are. And this is kind of fading. You got to remember, I grew up and started in Hondas right before the Fast and Furious 1 came out. The whole Ricer stage. Did all the ridiculous shit where you put body kits on your car that probably were not aerodynamic and probably created more drag. Giant useless wings that really did not help or weren't designed to help for the most part. You know, they were just out there at every auto parts store or you get your hands on. Fucking street glow that was like $1,000 when really it's only worth like maybe $200. And it was the shitty bulb kind that would break the moment you hit a bump or someone kicked in or cracked. Just painting the interior, just complete bullshit that just looked bad, and I hope people are not doing it again today. And if you are, there's much more ways to at least do it a little bit cleaner and look a little bit better than you know. It was the craze back then, and everybody was trying to get their hands on whatever the hell they could. The import craze is going crazy. Domestics were trying to rice out their vehicles. Euro taillights were everywhere. It was a a bad look. I look back on it, but it was part of history. It's funny now. You look back on it. We got some coffee because it's freezing in here. I got my car warming up to get ready to go over there and grab those tires. So you're gonna see it in winter mode here. Probably a pic on Instagram sometime within the day or next day. So. What it is about the Civic and Integras for me is that it's the stigma and the personality and all the different things that just generally come with those owners. Not all. Don't get me wrong. There's some great guys that own those vehicles, and I love them too. You know, I own those vehicles too. But generally, what deterred me and drove me and just pushed me away from those guys all of my life is most of them are douchebags. You know, sorry if you don't understand, you're probably one of them. They are mostly asshats, and they just think their shit don't stink. They think they call themselves a Honda guy, and literally they know nothing other than a fucking EG Civic and a DC Integra, which is the easiest platform to learn anything for and do anything for. So you are not a mechanical genius or fucking you're not doing anything original. Don't get me wrong, there's some guys out there that do some original shit, did some cool stuff with them. But for the most part, no. You're just copying somebody else's fucking homework. They are, like I said, I love the vehicles themselves. But generally, best way to explain it to you guys is, have you ever dealt with a real asshole Mustang guy. Now, there's another car. I love the Mustang. Some people might hate on me for that. I really do. I love the Mustang and many different models of it and platforms, and I think it's a fun fucking vehicle. And in fact, I want to build one day. I actually had one years and years ago. I had two actually, but I want to build a pretty badass one, possibly for drifting. We'll see. But it's the people, guys. It's the people. Most of them I met, and it is a little bit better than the past few years, I'd say. But most of them I met, I mean, they would hate on Accords. They would hate on Preludes. They would hate on any older Civic or a newer Civic. They would hate on every fucking Honda. And they were idiots. Like, especially back in high school when I had my first car was a 1989 Honda Prelude SI, 4-wheel steering. And it was beautiful, all original, white. I'm pissed that I got rid of this car because I went through the ricer stage with it, fucked it all up, went back to cleaning it up, boosted it when it was hard to find any boost kits. There was only one guy making, it was Tom something, I can't remember, in Florida, and it was called Lude Speed turbo kits, and he made them for the third gens. And honestly, you know, like that motor right there for a 1989 was 135 horsepower to the flywheel, to the crank, and 145 to the crank horsepower and 135 horsepower or torque. And excuse me, guys, give me a minute. Hell, I mean, that was 1989, right? I mean, I didn't have a 1989. I got it when I was 15, so around 2000, 2001, I think. Maybe a little bit younger. I have to do the math. But, I mean, hell, you look at that. Here's my CRVs that were made in mid-90s, towards the late 90s. It was the first one actually released in 97. Of course, they had the concepts and stuff like that. But, I mean, they're in a 4,000-plus pound vehicle. And, you know, the 2000s, if you're lucky, is 135 at the crank and 120-something. 118 or 125 or no, I think it's like 115 or 118 torque or something like that. I'd have to look it up again, but it's relatively low. And we all know the CRVs are slow stock, you know what I mean? But just think about that. I mean, the Prelude, the 1989 Prelude that I had the bastard B20 in it, B20A. Well, I had the JDM B20A put in it, but it was a B20A5 when I blew it up. And that car would keep up, if not roast, most Civics with a B16 then. And those were 160 horsepower. It was mainly when, you know, the VTEC would kick in, they got, you know, up there. But from the get-go, I'd have them almost all the way through third. So, and then most, anything non-VTEC, it would roast. So, it was annoying. They would act like it was nothing, and you'd beat them, and they get really pissed off and stuff like that. And still, it's like they couldn't wrap their head around that it was a Honda motor, and that was a Honda. It was just Civic in their head, and everything. They were rude to everybody. You know what I mean? The majority of these people, you see them on the forums, you see them on Facebook, you see them online, and generally a lot of them are asshats to people. And so. It's not that I don't like the cars, and I absolutely love them. In fact, one of my wife's favorite cars is DC Integra. In fact, I'm going to get her a clean one once we get a house and build her a very clean one. And I absolutely love them because they are the easiest platform in Honda to work on. The easiest. The amount of stuff that, and the cool thing is, like with the Preludes and stuff, they're becoming rare, but they're becoming a little bit more popular, and they're becoming a little bit more like they're making all-wheel drive kits for it now. They're making K-swap kits for it now. They're making H2B kits for it, you know, which is a little bit tougher, but there's people out there trying to get it. It's amazing, the stuff that they're doing, but they become so hard to find. And then usually when you see one, and that's another thing too, is a lot of guys, I can't stand when they'll get into a car and judge a car when they got into a clapped out fucking car. That shit drives me nuts. It's like, dude, you got into a shit box. You didn't get into a decent one, a clean one, a good running one. Or you'll get kids that will grab Hondas, man, and they will literally need new brakes, tune-ups, everything, and they will act like it's good. And it's like, no, dude, it's a piece of shit. You gotta literally fix it. You can't go and drive it like it's fast or in good shape when your ball joints are about to snap, and then judge the vehicle. you should be judging yourself, because you should be like honest with yourself and be like, God damn, my fucking car needs some work. It's not performing right. So that drives me nuts too. So they'll get into a car and then they'll judge a car, and it's like, do you not have enough brains to know that the thing has 200,000 something miles and probably hasn't had a tune-up or anything or taken care of, or it's not performing right? It doesn't take a rocket science to understand it, but you would think with some of these people. So that shit just drives me fucking crazy. So that would be mainly why I don't generally gravitate towards the Civic and Integra guys anymore, because a lot of them are that way. Not all. Some of the ones I met, some of the guys around town here are some great guys. Some of the guys I met online, some great dudes. You know what I mean? But the majority of the crowd, especially a couple years ago, used to be really crappy with that. One of the best communities I ever had that didn't end up getting really crappy for a while is the S2000 community. Was amazing. Now it's starting to get, and sadly, to be honest with you guys, and a lot of the S2000 guys will say this, it's because the Civic kids are getting the cheaper S2000s and they're coming over and then they're fucking that shit up too, and it's just sad because the S2000s are rare. You may think, oh, I see them all the time, but it's becoming more and more a rare car, and if they're in good shape, stock or modded, they're going up in value. Same thing with the Preludes, which I think is awesome. The Civics are not so much, unless you have a Civic and Integra, a Type R, or an extremely clean stock one. But hell, I just saw a modded 3rd gen Prelude a couple weeks ago with high miles, but it was in good shape. It had mods and everything. It was heavily modded, but it was in great shape and looked good. And I think the thing went for like $14,000, and it was a 1988 or 89. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're going up in value, which is pretty cool. The RD ones aren't really, unless you have a 5-speed. If you have a 5-speed, I do notice they're becoming more and more sought after if they're in good shape. So that's a cool thing about my 5-speed. I've been offered some good money for it. Automatics, not so much. They're a dime a dozen everywhere. But as far as like the value, the Integras and the Civics, they don't go up to, up here is a little bit more, because the rust, if you could get a rust-free EG or DC Integra, you got people, and guys, I'm saying EG and DC as, yes, this is the Japanese chassis. I know different, but it's just easier that way and simpler that way to go about it. So basically, I would say that, yeah, the respect factor on some of these other vehicles are coming out. Like a lot of people, I can't believe the amount, especially the younger generation. I get it. I guess, it'd be a little bit different for them to understand. But like the hatchback Accord, the late 80s hatchback Accord that people, they joke around and call it the AE86. I just can't believe how they don't even know, you know what I mean? So you get a lot of these people, and most of these younger guys, they'll talk shit about stuff, and all they know is Civic and Integra. They just think Honda is Civic and Integra. And that shit just drives me nuts. There's so many other cooler platforms out there. There's so much cool things to learn. And do I recommend owning those? Yeah, absolutely, man. Those are great starter vehicles, and to learn and to get everything right, absolutely. If you have a chance to pick up another thing, like here's a perfect example. I'll say this, make this video is getting kind of long now. What always surprised me is they talk junk about it, and you look at the price tag difference when they were brand new, and the Preludes were astronomically way more higher, like $20,000 more higher, depending on the model you got. And you get in a Civic and you get an Integra at that time, or even an RD1, and it's just cheap plastic for the most part. You know what I mean? Everything is very brittle and very just not comfy, for the most part. It's an economy vehicle, you know what I mean? It is. And you get in there, you get into a Prelude and the interior is nice. You get in the S2K and the interior is nice. I think they could have made the interior a little bit nicer in the S2K, but I think it was because of weight reduction, things like that. But you get in the Prelude and the interior is beautiful. You get in a Ridgeline, the interior is really beautiful, depending on, how well they took care of it and stuff. New ones are really nice. And then, of course, all the newer models are getting some pretty nice interior. But I'm talking about the late 80s, early 90s. it was just a beautiful car. You know, you get in the NSX, then of course everybody knows the NSX. Beautiful interior. You got to remember too, another cool thing talking about older cars is the third gen Prelude was the prototype car. It was like the baby NSX, what they call it. There was many things they used on that they were getting ready to do on the NSX, such as the very low hood line. It's one of the only, at that time, I don't know about now, one of the only Hondas that they had the motor that they had to actually tilt the motor back in the way they did it so that it cleared the hood line. It's just pretty cool. If you just learn some stuff about other chassis, you would seriously be like, wow, man, Honda really they did some cool shit back then. So it wasn't just the Civic and Integra. I mean, what they did with that was amazing. Don't get me wrong. And the parts are plentiful for that. Like, that is, you know, they are the easiest to come by. So do I think, I'll wrap it up, guys. Do I think they're bad cars? Do I hate them? No, absolutely not. I love them. And one day, sorry, I'm talking so much, my coffee's gonna get cold. One day, if I have the house and garage that I want and everything works out, hell, I'd probably have a stable of different Hondas and have some of those too. So I absolutely love those. It's just the following that comes along with it is what, you know, turns me away to it for the most part. Not all guys. If you guys that are on my page and follow me and all, most of you guys have been all great. I've had no issues, and talking with you guys has been amazing, and I love seeing your rides, and I love seeing the Civics and Integra. So don't take it that I don't like those. I just think that most of you guys will probably understand that watch me about that kind of style of people and the stuff that comes along with it. Other than that, I hope that this shit goes away and either snow comes and I can go play in the snow with the fucking CRV and with my kids. I love taking them out in the snow. I have a blast with that. So hopefully that goes away and you guys get some snow videos and I can work on this and get this fucking thing on the ground or decide if I'm part it out. I still don't know yet till I cut through this and I see. That's going to be my deciding factor. And then also, yeah, so I can get the Prelude out there too and do that and get my damn winter tires on. So, all right, guys, I just want to do that. It was fun. If you guys have any other questions or things like that, I actually enjoyed this. So let me know. That'd be cool. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's just something you guys want to talk about on Instagram or, you know, like what's your favorite beer or some shit. I don't know. I find that shit kind of interesting. It's just fun. But yeah, you guys have a good one, man. I got to get to go and get my tires, all right?